Alright, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm gonna tell y'all how I got my first car at 17. Okay, so I don't know how I'm gonna start this off. But ever since I was 15 years old, I wanted a Hellcat. It could be a Charger Hellcat or a Challenger Hellcat. I really didn't care because that's just my dream car, and it still is my dream car. But when I got my license, I was like, oh yeah, my parents gonna get me a new car. So I was like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna let me pick out what car I wanted. But instead, they didn't give me a new car. They made me drive one of the cars we already had. And I'm at 16 when I get my license. I'm like, I do not want to drive this to school. Like, I'm not gonna drive this car to school. That's not what I'm about to do. And so I'm like, okay, since I'm not gonna drive this car back to school, they gonna give me what I want. When instead they was like, if you don't want to drive this car to school, you can get back on that bus, or we could drop you off like we've been doing. So I got my license. I'm not just about to get dropped off and start back riding the bus. So I end up driving the car to school. It wasn't a bad car. I just wanted a new car. It was a 2004 Buick Rainer. And so I ended up driving that like a year, about 2 years, a year and a half. And then the transmission went out. The first time the transmission went out, we just went ahead and had a new one put in, and I was back on my way. And then it went out the second time, and I'm like, man, I want a new car. And by this time, I have a job anyway. So since I have a job, I'm saving my money and getting paid. And so I was sitting in the house one day, and I was like, I want a new car. And my grandma was like, I'm not getting you a new car. I'm not going to finance a car and get no 17-year-old child a car. So I was like, so what if I ask my granddad? And she was like, that's up to you and your granddad. And so my granddad being my granddad, he was like, I don't care. So we ended up going. I was looking online. I was like, well, since I'm getting me a new car, I'm getting me a Hellcat. And he was like, I'm not getting you no Hellcat. You can't just jump off big and just try to get a nice car. Like, you need to start off small and work your way up. And so I'm sitting here like, well, I'm not getting a small car or a car that I don't want and I'm paying for. I'm not just going to get me a car that I don't want. So I end up looking online on car gurus and different stuff like that. And I found some cop cars, 2014 and up. And they had like 100,000 miles on them, but most cop cars, they're taken care of. And so we go up to the dealership and look where they're at. And so we're looking around, and I see them. And they wasn't too expensive or anything because they have a lot of miles on them. So when I went there, we test drove it. They ran fine. And so we were sitting in there, and my granddad said, well, let's go back and look at it one more time. We go out there, we look at it, and it say no dealer warranty. He was like, well, you don't need this either. And I was like, why not? I can't get a Hellcat. Like, I'm not getting something I don't want. And with no dealer warranty, if something would happen to it, I would still have to make no payments. So we ended up leaving and coming back home, and went to another car dealership where they have new cars. And I was looking around, didn't see anything I want, and then I seen this car. It's a Chrysler 300 Sport 2018. And when I seen it, I was like, well, let's go look at this. And I ended up looking at it, and we went in there, we test drove, I liked it. So we went in there to get it. But my granddad, he couldn't get it at the moment because he already had a truck that he had payments on, and they wanted him to trade in his current truck loan for it, or his payments would have been like sky high on this and stuff, interest rates. And so went home because he couldn't get it because he was not about trading his truck, and I didn't want my payments to be too high. And went home and talked to my grandma. And my grandma, she decided, she was like, well, since you have a job, you make your payments, you'll be able to, I get it. So we went back, we ended up getting the car. And the only thing she said, like, you're not adding anything to this car to a year. And so that upset me. But then she finally was like, it's your car, you making the payments, you do what you want. So I'm keeping up my payments and got the car. And so now, that's how I ended up with this car. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to get the car, because at 17, you can't just go to a dealership and buy a car, because first you can't get a car financed till you're 18. And even at 18, you probably still won't be able to get a car without a cosigner. because at 18, most people don't have credit. And so I end up getting this. It's in her name right now. Next year, in September when I turn 18, I'll probably have it switched over to my name and she co-sign so I can start building my credit. Because as soon as I'm done paying this off, hopefully I'll be able to get me a Hellcat. And with the Hellcat, hopefully since I'll be able to prove to her that I could afford this car and that I could keep up my payments and she won't have to make any payments on it, she might co-sign and give me a Hellcat. And if that works out as planned, that's what I'm going to get, a Hellcat. And that's how I afforded this car. And I'm going to do another video later on the car and show you what I have. I already told you the 2018 Chrysler 300 Sport. As you can see, like, there's nothing really to it. But I'm not going to get rid of this car. I'm going to pay it off and keep it because I like it. And at first, I didn't really think that I wanted this car. I was like, okay, well, it's a nice car, I'm going to get it, but it's not what I want. But I ended up really liking this car because since I couldn't get a Hellcat, I was going to either get me a Charger or a Challenger. But I ended up getting this, and I did like it. It was way more. Well, it wasn't way more. It was way more than that Charger I was looking at. But it wasn't as much as a new. They're the Chargers, and this was about the same price. So I ended up getting this, and it has the same engine and stuff as the Charger, so I really do. It's the same car. But I got this, and I'm going to do videos on the car, show you what it looked like and stuff, and all the mods and stuff I'm going to start adding to it. Like next week, I'm going to get my windows tinted. I ordered me the Flowmaster Super 10 mufflers for it. And I got a cold air intake coming in, a K&N cold air intake for it. And that's about it. And next week I'm going to do a video on it. I want y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what kind of modification stuff I should do to the car. That's it.